All right, this is exercise 3.3. In this exercise, they're asking you to draw a swell with an 8% minimum slope and a 3-to-1 maximum slope. So the 3-to-1 would be your cross slope, and your 8% would be your longitudinal slope, which is going down the center line of the swell. That CL down there stands for center line. So this is the high point of the swell, and they're giving you that elevation. It's elevation 50.5. So we know that we need to drop vertically to the nearest whole contour, which is going to be 50 in this case, right? So from 50.5 down to 50 is half a foot, or 0.5. So we don't know how far away that contour is going to be, but we do know the vertical distance of 0.5, and we know the slope percentage, which is 8%. So let's see. Horizontal distance equals vertical divided by slope. So the horizontal distance, the vertical distance is, we said 0.5. We divide that by the slope, which is 8%, or 0.08. And that equals 6.25 feet horizontally. Let's check my math here and make sure. Divided by 0.08 equals 6.25 feet. So we know that the first contour, contour 50, is 6.25 feet from that spot elevation along this line. So we'll just measure down 6.25 feet. And we're working at 30 scale, so we're going to use the 30 scale. 6.5 feet puts us right about there. So this is contour 50. And on these contours, 50, 48, 46, they're 2 feet apart. So we know that with a 3-to-1 maximum slope, we know that these contours are going to need to be 6 feet apart because it's 3-to-1. So 3 feet for every 1 foot vertical. This is 2 feet, 50, 48. So because it's 2 feet, we've got to double that, and the contours have to stay 6 feet apart. So just remember, as you're drawing your swell, your width is determined by that 3-to-1. In other words, your contours, when you draw them in, can't be closer than 6 feet apart because they're 2 foot contours. As long as you maintain that distance as a minimum, you're okay. So with that said, next thing we got to do is we got to find the next whole contour from 50, which is going to be 48, not 49, because we don't have a 49-foot contour. So instead you just go 1 divided by 0.08, because it's, or sorry, 2 divided by 0.08, because it's 2 feet, right? We're dropping 2 feet vertically to the 48-foot contour. That equals 25 feet. So we measure 25 feet, which puts us right about there. So that's contour 48, and I'm labeling on the uphill side of the contour. And then from then on out, it's every 2 feet, right? So it's going to be 25 feet from then on out. So you just draw another 25 feet. That'll be contour 46, and so on. You'll just continue that down. Then to tie in, you just go, you got to tie in, so you're going to come down with your swell. And remember, swells, we've got to cut a swell. You can't fill in a swell, right? A swell is basically a ditch, so you got to cut. So it's going to be going uphill because, for instance, it's 48. You have to cut into the 50-foot elevation, like this slope right here. If this slope was going like this, and you're going to put a swell in, you got to cut it in. You got to cut. You can't fill. You know, if you're going, contours are going downhill, you would be filling. That would be a ridge line. So with that, let's just draw these in. Oops. And then you just put a hash mark where you tie back into the contour, 46. I think I need to fix my lead here. There we go. So 46 going to tie in here. Boom, like that. And you just continue all the way down. As long as you maintain 6 foot of distance between these contours, and they get a little closer down here, so you have to be a little more careful probably, but 6 feet of distance or more between these contours, you're meeting that 3-to-1 maximum slope. So just continue this down, and that's 8%. So you would put your arrows in your swell because you're going down this way, right? And it's 8% going downhill like that. And draw them in so you can see them a little better. There's your, all right, so there's your swell, 8% slope. Just continue those contours just as we did here. And that's that exercise.